happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. You guys can probably already tell that it is going down. Just by that title alone, you guys are definitely going to want to check this one out. So we got that rogue Maine governor, Janet Mills, making matters even worse as she continues to fight Trump in that battle over trans athletes, guys. I'm excited to get to this one, so we're not straight into it. All I ask that you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, let's get straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
As we know, Governor Mills told President Donald Trump that she would see him in court. She did, and now she has won. And as you said, she and Attorney General Fry say this is a win. They also say they had no choice but to file this lawsuit. During the less than 10-minute press conference, the governor and Attorney General said the withholding of school lunch program funding was unlawful. While this is a win for the state, there are still pending lawsuits, including the one filed just a few weeks ago by the United States Department of Justice against the Maine Department of Education for allegedly violating Title IX. Republicans in the legislature say there was an easy fix to this: to pass legislation that would change the law to align with President Trump's executive order. I've asked Governor Mills this question a few times now. Here's what she had to say today. This all comes down to Title IX, as you know, and there are a number of bills being proposed by Republicans in the legislature this session that have been scheduled for next week in the Judiciary Committee. I know you've called the transgender issue a worthy debate. If any of those bills cross your desks, would you sign them?
I'm not going to speculate as to any particular bills. I think there are probably 8 or 10 of them. Yeah.
So as you can see, the governor of Maine is not only claiming victory, but part of her whole thing was, look, she's going to apply the law. So this reporter said, well, you have the opportunity, you with the legislature, you can change the law or you can clarify the law to make sure that biological males are not competing against biological females. Would you be willing to do that? And as you can see, the governor of Maine, Janet Mills, would not even commit to that, y'all. So I think you know where she stands, right? So all of this, I would say, has created a certain amount of uncertainty, right? We're certain that times are uncertain. Now, Maine is so serious about this issue, y'all. And it's so interesting because Maine is one of the smaller, least populated states in the country. And it's taking on this huge role. This is the forefront of the battle over this issue. And one of their very own, one of their lawmakers stepped up to have her voice heard about this issue. But as you can see in this segment, it's not going very well for her. She's been censured and not even allowed to speak on the legislative floor until she apologizes, y'all. This is going all the way to the Supreme Court. Take a look.
Maine Representative Laurel Libby is asking for the highest court in America to step in so she can vote on the House floor. Her only alternative to the nation's highest court stepping in is formally apologizing for actions that threatened the well-being of a transgender high school athlete.
Representative Libby sued the Speaker of the House after she was censured this winter, and she posted about the transgender on Facebook, the teenager on Facebook. The post drew a lot of nasty comments and threats, to the point that police actually came to the school to make sure nothing bad happened. Well, the censure is an official rebuke by the legislature, and she is not allowed to vote or speak on the floor until she apologizes. The text of the censure bill explains that she is being punished for violating the legislative code of ethics, specifically that lawmakers are entrusted with the safety, security, and the health of all Mainers. She said that she was censured for, quote, speaking the truth. Although since her post, many lawmakers on both sides of the aisle have suggested that Maine's policy over transgender athletes warrants a discussion. They were not censured. Her appeal to the Supreme Court asks that her ability to vote and speak on the floor be restored while her lawsuit against Speaker Fecteau plays out in court. The Attorney General's office, which represents Fecteau, has declined to comment.
So, y'all, I think this was one of the main issues that factored into Trump winning the 2024 presidential election. If you remember, his campaign ran ads about this issue in particular, and I think the American people, just on a gut core level, understand that we have objective characteristics that we can quantify for the purposes of putting people in categories to compete, right? You have height, you have weight, you have sex, you have years of experience. What you don't use is how I feel inside, right? That's never been a criteria for scholastic sports. It's never been, how do you feel inside? So, and my prediction is that going forward, we'll figure out that it shouldn't be that. It should be some sort of observable characteristic. How tall are you? How much do you weigh? How many years experience do you have? That sort of thing.
They have to come in legally. 2 weeks ago, I signed an executive order banning men from playing in women's sports. Many Democrats are fighting me on that. I hope you continue, because you'll never win another race. And it's just crazy. If you look at what happened with the boxing, if you look at what happened with the weightlifting numbers, where a record that hadn't been broken for 19 years got shattered. But, they put up an eighth of an ounce here, an eighth of an ounce there, and it's 218 pounds or whatever, a lot. And hadn't been broken in 19 years. And then guy walks up who transitioned. He transitioned, and he knocked out that record by about 100 pounds. That will be a record not going to be broken again in a long. So we put a ban on it, and to protect women. I mean, the women, if you watch the Olympics, you had two transitioned people that were fighting in the women's boxing. They have women's boxing category, and if you saw that, it was brutal. What happened to the Italian woman was a really good boxer. After one punch, she said, no more. I've never been hit. It was a left. It was not even it was just a left jab. She got hit so hard, she said, I can't do it. They forced her to go out. No, go out again. You'll do it. Goes out again, gets hit again. No, that's it. She didn't want to die, and it's crazy, but the NCAA has complied immediately, by the way. That's good. But I understand Maine. Is Maine here, the governor of Maine? Well,
Not here.
are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it, because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply, because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state, good. I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Oh my goodness. We just see that Janet Mills, that delusional Maine governor, saying she's going to take this one in the courts as a win. But I don't know how you can take any of this as a win. I mean, this is what's supposed to be common sense, something that we're lacking a lot nowadays in society, but it's just not fair. This is not right. I'm not sure how any woman is going to vote for her in the future. I'm not sure how this Karen got elected in the first place. Like, the way she's behaving, the way she's been acting, it's so selfish, so childish. I mean, it's like she's putting her own beliefs ahead of the well-being of the people, the citizens of Maine. It makes, like, as the governor, your duty is to make sure you're protecting your citizens, carrying out, upholding the law, but she's not doing that. She's failing. She's neglecting a lot of these young ladies and women in sports who have been competing, going their whole life training in order to get to the big dance, that final moment, the championship, and then they're standing toe-to-toe against someone who is not even supposed to be in their class, not even supposed to be in that bout, that fight against them. Just like what Trump described, we all seen, it was very gruesome. And that Olympic boxing match, it was sad to see, a woman getting out there, giving it her all. She made it to the biggest stage there is, the Olympics, and she gets her dreams shattered by someone who shouldn't even have been in the competition. I don't know, you guys. Hop in the comment section. You guys got to let me know what you're thinking about this one. Comments are open. I'm excited to hear that. Also, make sure you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next week.